A high-stakes wrongful death trial alleging a code of silence in the Chicago Police Department took a dramatic turn Tuesday after documents suddenly surfaced mid-trial showing an off-duty detective was involved in a drunken bar fight nearly 17 years before he killed two young men in a fiery DUI crash on the Dan Ryan Expressway. At an emergency hearing outside the presence of the jury, U.S. District Judge Virginia Kendall said the undisclosed report of former homicide detective Joseph Frugoli's 1992 arrest and 5-day suspension went to the heart of the allegations against both Frugoli and the department that officers are inclined to cover up for wrongdoing by fellow cops. This is the damning report, and it comes up out of nowhere, 6 years after the beginning of the lawsuit, an exasperated Kendall said. It's really a mess. Plaintiffs' attorneys asked for immediate sanctions, including a possible directed verdict in their favor. After conferring in private with attorneys for both sides, however, Kendall announced that the trial would go on, albeit with incriminating new evidence that could cripple the city's case. Not only will the jury be allowed to hear testimony that a drunken Frugoli punched and choked bar patrons that night, broke a pool cue over one man's head and reportedly yelled, "Nobody messes with the Frugolis," but they'll also be shown two other Frugoli-related reports that just turned up Tuesday afternoon when the city did a new search of its records, Kendall said. And in perhaps the biggest setback for the city, Kendall said she'll instruct the jury that they can make the inference that the city intentionally withheld all three documents due to a code of silence. This is highly damaging information, the judge said. The city was on notice of aggressive and alcohol-related problems with Joseph Frugoli 17 years before the fatal DUI crash. The bombshell development marked the latest black mark for the city when it comes to accusations of withholding documents in lawsuits alleging police misconduct. Last month, a different federal judge ordered the city to pay $62,500 for withholding records in a lawsuit involving a fatal police shooting, the eighth time Mayor Rahm Emanuel's administration has been sanctioned for failing to turn over potential evidence in a police misconduct case. All totaled, discovery-related penalties, which include 2 large post-trial sanctions, have cost the city more than $1 million over the past 6 years, the Tribune has reported. A spokesman for the city's law department declined to comment on the developments Tuesday, citing the ongoing litigation. The Frugoli trial, now in its second week, centers on allegations that a code of silence allowed Frugoli to continue to drink and drive with impunity before the 2009 wreck that killed Andrew Casates and Fausto Manzara. In fact, Frugoli had managed to escape discipline despite being a longtime alcoholic who was suspected of drunken driving a year earlier when he T-boned a squad car while driving home from a casino, attorneys for the plaintiffs have alleged. The jury has heard evidence that even though Frugoli appeared to have glassy eyes at the scene of that crash, he was placed immediately inside a sergeant's squad car and never interviewed or given a sobriety test.